Hey guys, Gypsy Jeep Fishing back at it again with another rigging video. I wanted to show you guys my favorite way to rig up inline spinners, or rooster tails as they're commonly known, and also any kind of like spoon, flutter spoon, or like a swimming spoon, or any kind of casting spoon, whatever spoon you can think of. This is the rig I like to use. So one of the problems you get with like a spoon, and this is a super duper spoon, this is probably my favorite spoon, especially for fishing trout. This thing absolutely kills. When it's in the water and you're fishing it and you kind of like stop it for a second, it kind of flutters down like that, to the sides and stuff like that, and it's really quite awesome. But it twists like that, when it's fluttering down and whatnot. Anyway, it's a really cool presentation, and honestly, these little super duper spoons are freaking awesome. So anyway, but one of the issues you get with spoons like that is they spin a lot. So what you end up getting is line twist, right? So they spin, and then your line starts doing that number, right? Starts twisting up on itself, and then when you get done, well, I didn't really do it all that much, but typically when you get done, you'll hold this up and it'll just sit there and spin out of the twist and whatnot. And you don't want your line twisting because, when it twists, it can break easy. So if you're fighting a really good sized fish, you don't want that line breaking like that. So you really want to put some type of barrel swivel on the front. Now, as you guys can probably see, ratio to ratio, that's a pretty big barrel swivel by comparison to this super duper spoon. Now, the reason I do that is because I like to think of this almost as it's dual purpose. It's a swivel, so it's stopping that line twist from happening, but it also is helping add so much more weight to this overall rig right here. Because just this spoon by itself, you can't really cast that thing that far, but when you add in this guy, oh, you can cast it a heck of a lot further. And if you needed to cast it even further, you could put split shot up here, and you could get even further casting distance, plus still have that barrel swivel to stop the line twist. So anyway, that's the rig right there. Barrel swivel and probably about 1 foot or more, and then a spoon or spinner bait. And this is pretty much how I fish like all of my spoons and spinner baits. It doesn't really matter the size of the spoon or the spinner bait. I pretty much fish most of them like this. Now, there are some like larger spoons, and sometimes what I actually do is take a snap like this that's on this super duper. The super dupers come with that snap, and a lot of other spoons do as well. But what I'll actually do is add a snap with like an already attached barrel swivel to it, but typically a much smaller barrel swivel, not something ginormous like that. And one other thing I didn't mention that's kind of a nice note with this is that this almost looks like a little fish in the water, and then this is chasing it. So they're like chasing each other, and so like that really gets those fish activated as well. And another thing that you can kind of notice while you're fishing something like this, as you can tell, this is gold and this is silver, right? Okay. I have gold ones as well, but sometimes while I'm fishing this, they won't touch this at all, but they'll be smacking this thing a whole bunch, especially with trout. So if they're smacking gold, I just go ahead and swap this out for my gold super duper, and, we're working again. But, you can use gold, silver, or like that darker, like black kind of looking color swivels. Doesn't really matter. You can kind of just experiment around. I'd say the black swivels are probably your best bet, but I just have an easier time finding these like brass or like golden looking ones. So that's what I end up using a lot. I have a whole bunch of them. But anyway, guys, give that rig a try. It's a great rig. Works really good for trout. I have caught some bass on it and some other, like smaller fish species. You probably, if you're doing some like really deep water crappie fishing or something like that, this is probably a pretty good rig as well. So yeah, like I said, just give it a shot and let me know what you guys think.